Hi, I'm Sam, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to give you my top 5 tips to improve your 2 kilometer run time for the Army Assessment Centre or the AOSB. So let's get into it. Tip number 1 is train to run. So what do I mean by train to run? This is generally how the army are going at this moment in time. Gone are the days of doing steady state runs, long distance runs. They generally won't help you around the battlefield. Some of the fittest athletes around, Formula 1 racing car drivers, footballers, it's very rare that they're going on steady state runs, long distance runs. What they do is high intensity interval training, circuit training, sprint sessions, etc. So you have to prepare your body in order to be able to get a faster run time on the 2 kilometers. Therefore, start building a foundation for your body. Let's have some high intensity legs. Let's have some high intensity core and high intensity upper body as well. Train your body in order to get out there on the tarmac and be able to run quite quickly a 2 kilometer run time, other than just running all of the time. So if you're just running all of the time, then your body's not getting any used to any other type of phase, and it'll just get used to becoming that forward momentum, and you're not building any other type of strength, which in comparison can then complement when you are out running. So train your body to run. So number 2, from following on from training your body to run, you're then going to want to look at how to train your body to run. So we're going to begin with essentially some high intensity interval training. HIIT. So the high intensity interval training, you don't even have to have intervals in that training. You can just do high intensity training. So you're looking at things of around 20 minutes to 30 minutes, even up to 40 minutes of training. It could be with kettlebell, it can be in the gym, but try and move away from those rest periods. Say you like doing weights in the gym, you like doing bench, shoulder presses, etc. Let's start putting some of them together. Let's start doing bench press straight into bicep curls, straight into abs. Then you have your interval, which is the rest period. So you're then training your lungs, you're training your cardiovascular system, your repository rate, to try and function to a better capacity, i.e. getting your heartbeat down, lowering that pulse rate over a quicker period of time, which will help you when it comes to a 2 kilometer run. So let's start focusing on upper body HIIT, lower body HIIT, core as well. Core is a very important component when it comes to running, and then you can also throw in some all over body hits as well for endurance. Tip number 3 involves running itself, so we can't forget about that. So what we're going to do is a technique called split times, whereby if you're running 2 kilometers in 12 minutes, you're effectively running 500 meters in 3 minutes, which actually sounds a really long time when you look at it. So what you're going to want to do is get that 500 meters down to 2.5 minutes, and you can do that almost straight away. So this is the process. You're going to run 500 meters in 2.5 minutes, and then rest for 2.5 minutes. You're going to do that essentially 8 times. So you're going to run your 500, rest for 2.5 minutes, run your 500 in 2 minutes 30, rest for 2 minutes 30, so on and so forth, until you've done it 4 times round, and you've got 2 kilometers in total distance. Therefore, then you've cut 30 seconds off per 500 meters. Yes, you're getting a rest time, but it's training your body to enable itself to run those 500 meters in those 2.5 minutes, or in those 2 minutes that you need to pass the 2 kilometer run. So that's split times. And as you move on, what you're then going to do is lower the duration of the rest period until you get it down to 2 minutes, 1 minute 30, minute, 30 seconds, no rest whatsoever, and you've got that 10 minute 2 kilometer run, which will come in no time if you're doing this type of split technique and also the high intensity interval training as well. Tip number 4 is the training cycle that you're going to conduct. Don't run on back-to-back days. It would be no good for you, and also if you don't get the run timings that you want, mentally it'll be bad for you as well. So training cycle is what we're gonna look at. So with the training cycle, you are gonna want a rest day between you testing yourself and on the 2 kilometer run. So you can do hit here, you can go round in the circle, do hit again, round in the circle. You could have perhaps a rest day, then a run, and then back into your hit cycle. So you're going hit to a rest, then you run into hit. So essentially, you may start off with the run. You've got to test yourself, get your 2 kilometer run time. 2 days of hit between 20 and 40 minutes. Take a rest day before you start doing your split times, your 2 kilometer run. You can run just a little bit further, do a 3 or 4 kilometer run. You can do hill sprints, for instance. You can do fartlegging, which might be 10 seconds of sprinting, 20 seconds of rest. Or if you use lampposts, you can sprint 1 lamppost, jog, very slowly jog the next lamppost, sprint the next one over those 2 kilometers as well. And that gets the miles into your legs, and it gets the strength and endurance into your legs, and also the speed into them as well. Tip number 5 is what to do on your rest day. So let's call it an active rest day. We're going to call it an active rest day because you might only have 2, 3 or 4 weeks before you get to the assessment center. Therefore, you're going to continually want to do something in order to maintain the new level of fitnesses that you're achieving, and also increase your level of fitness as well. So, active rest. Active rest, so here you're going to want to help your body heal and recover and grow from all the fitness that you've been doing previously. So what you're going to look at is stretching, so you're going to look at stretching, perhaps 20 minutes of stretching during that rest day, but you should also be doing that after each time you've conducted physical activity. Then we're going to move down to your diet. There are diet plans that are on my channel, and you want to look at the correct amount of fats, carbs and proteins that you're taking on that day as well. Next one is going to be plan. Plan your next 3 or 4 days of training, so you haven't got to think about it. It's something less to think about if you've already planned it on your rest day. This is what I'm going to do for the next 3 or 4 days. And finally, sleep. On your rest day, do get as much sleep as possible. There are footballers that have a 20-minute nap almost every 4 hours per day to help their body recover from the training sessions that they do. So when you're on your active rest day, especially the night before, go to bed early, And when you wake up, you want to try and wake up no more than 8 hours of sleep. You want 8 hours of constant sleep. Don't go to bed late and get up early. Don't go to bed late and get up really late as well, because then you're putting your body out of a cycle. So start focusing on sleep patterns as well whilst you're training, and you can think about it certainly on your active rest days as well. But other than that, those are my 5 top tips to really propel you to a much faster time when it comes to the 2-kilometer run at the Army Assessment Centre or AOSB. If you do have any other questions, please just leave them in the comment section below, and I always get back to them all. Take care.